Watkins. I just welcome you to my website if you're on that website. And if you've already clicked on online classes, great. But if you haven't, I encourage you to go to my website, which is drdavidwatkins.org. What I am offering are some very interesting and exciting courses, classes. One is in progress right now called The Accidental Entrepreneur. And when you go to that website, all you got to do is just click on the title and the content will open up. It is a fantastic course on how to start your business, how ways to make it successful, whether it be a business, a practice, a ministry, whatever it is. This course will help you establish a very successful business, a practice for ministry. Whatever you plan to do, I really encourage you to look at the content. It's a 15-hour course offered 1 hour per week. Another course which I think is absolutely essential for all of us, especially parents as well as expectant parents, and that is healing mother and father wounds. None of us had perfect parents. All our parents at one time were little children, expecting to get all of their love needs met by their mom and dad, only to discover that mom and dad perhaps didn't get all their love needs met when they were little children, because we have human parents. We may have had wonderful parents, we may have had great people who loved us in our family, but did we form judgments against them? Well, I'll just give you one personal example, a very brief example, that when I was just a little tyke, my father would travel all week. He would leave on Monday morning and come back on Friday evening. And I hated to see him go. And I became angry and judged him, saying, if Daddy really loved me, he would stay home and play with me. So I formed a bitterroot judgment against my father. But I also formed a judgment against myself. There must be something wrong with me, since Daddy doesn't want to stay home and play with me. He doesn't like me. He doesn't want to be around me. So I formed a dual judgment, one against my father, once against me. And what I sowed way back then, I reaped later in life. And I will share that during the course. But it's not an academic course, but it's a how-to course. How is it possible to receive the healing, the wholeness, the inner transformation that we need, so that we're not driven to be like those whom we said we'd never be like? I'll never be like my dad, or I'll never be like my mom, whatever. And then invariably we become that. So we will look at the spiritual side of it, the emotional, the mental side, a perspective having to do with father wounds and mother wounds. Dr. Carl Jung, famous psychologist, said before he died, every emotional, every mental, every psychological problem is a matter of spirituality. And what he meant by that, he wasn't talking church, he wasn't talking religion, but he was talking about the heart and soul, because that's where we really live. That's where our identity is, in our heart and soul. And therefore, it is absolutely imperative for us to realize that until our heart and soul are healed, in sync with what God wants, we're not going to be healthy emotionally and psychologically. Well, that's a simplistic overview, but I just wanted to share that. Another course that I'm working on that we'll be offering is healing your children's father and mother wounds. Because these judgments we make, sometimes we call them bitter root judgments, have roots deep in the ground. But one root that goes deeper than all the roots is the taproot. And that's the stuff that comes down through generationally through the family tree, be it depression, alcoholism, certain addictions, anger, whatever it might be. Well, what this course will do is help you offer ways that your children, even if they're adult children, can break free from some of this so they don't carry it on to their children, pass it on. So anyway, I really encourage you to take advantage of these courses. The one on mother and father wounds, second one that I mentioned, is a 10-week course, offered 1 hour a week, as well as healing your children's wounds is a 10-week course offered 1 time a week. But you can go to my website if you're not already there, and there'll be more information. But would love to have you, because see, I believe very much God has a dream for each one of us. He has a vision for each one of us. He obviously has a purpose, and he has a mission, a calling for each one of us. And we're here for such a short time. I'm in my 70s already. For some reason, God still has me around. But he wants us to know what that calling is. Because it's only when we enter into what he wants are we going to be happy, satisfied, and fulfilled. So I will share more later. But God bless you. And you'll be in my thoughts and prayers. Take care. Thanks for coming on board. Bye-bye.